We've got our Michigan football most likely bowl opponents in the show today. Before we get into it, I'm going to ask you guys this question. Do you care about bowl games anymore? I've always cared about bowl games. I've always thought they've been a nice springboard to a great offseason, feeling a lot of positive vibes coming out of a win, and certainly the opposite coming out of a loss. But last year when Michigan had a bunch of players, 4 guys sit out and not playing the bowl game, a lot of you told me, who cares? It's an exhibition, James. So answer the question. Type Y below in the comments if yes you care. Type N for no. We've got the Michigan football bowl opponent show coming up right now. Hey there, YouTube world. It's yours truly, James Yoder, back with the Michigan football report. I know you guys saw me in rare form on Sunday, a little bit, one of these bad boys, but just drinking away my sorrows of Michigan's blowout loss to Ohio State, 56-27 was it? I don't even know anymore. Who the hell cares? We're going to go through 5 possible bowl opponents. These what I think are the most likely. And frankly, unless there's some kind of chaos in this college football playoff this weekend in the championship games, I think it's very likely 90% or more that one of these 5 will be who Michigan plays. Let's take a look at number 5, I guess. I think this is the 5th likely, but we're just going through them from top to bottom. Washington, the University of Washington Huskies, whose head coach just stepped down, but he will coach in the bowl game in the Holiday Bowl. Now, this is a rung down from where I think a lot of people, Michigan fans, expected the team to be. They've certainly thought college football playoff, Rose Bowl, maybe another New Year's Six Bowl. But could it be Washington, who started off the year okay, I guess, but they've had a really disappointing season. And with Chris Peterson stepping down, 7-5 record, they've got their defensive coordinator to start the season next year. He's going to be their head coach. I would hate this matchup because then Washington becomes the Florida of a next generation. As everybody knows, Michigan's played Florida, 4 times in Harbaugh's tenure, maybe 3, 4 times, whatever it is. It's a lot. And Michigan seems to play Florida every couple of years no matter what, 2007, 2002 in bowl games. And you play Washington to start the season next year. You play Washington like game 2 or 3 in 2021. So I don't want to see Michigan play Washington back-to-back games and then 3 times over like a 15, 16 game span. So Washington is my 5th most likely a bowl opponent. That would be out in the Holiday Bowl. And Jim Harbaugh, I'll tell you what, I put it on one of the shows on Saturday or Sunday that I feel that this bowl game means a lot to his future as Michigan's coach. Now, they come back and go 12-0 next year. Of course, this bowl game won't matter, but a 3-game bowl losing streak and 16-17, Michigan kind of handed those games back to Florida State and certainly South Carolina when they were up by 3 scores in the third quarter. Last year, after the Ohio State loss, guys sitting out bowl games, it seemed like Michigan didn't care to even be on the field, got blown out by Florida, who played really good that day. So Jim Harbaugh, 3 straight games, bowl games, with a loss. So Washington in the Holiday Bowl is kind of like my 5th most likely. We'll put them at the top. We'll go down to the most likely. But I want to ask you guys this question. Which team do you want to see Michigan play in a bowl game? I'm going to pin that question down below in the YouTube comments. You might get hit with an ad break there. So while this ad plays, go ahead below and answer this question in the comments section. Next up is USC, the Trojans, under Clay Helton, went 8-4 this year, and it sounds like, as of this taping, he's going to return as their coach, so he certainly will be there for the bowl matchup. Went 7-2 in the Pac-12, so not that bad of a year for Clay Helton. He is my 2nd most likely. They are USC, my 2nd from the top. I guess number 4 in this scenario, but 2nd on this list. Also in the Holiday Bowl, and it's really there's a lot of things that can happen with Conference Championship Weekend. If Utah makes the college football playoff, then does Oregon get bumped down? A lot of people say Utah will make the college football playoff, then Oregon goes to the Rose Bowl, then does USC get the Holiday Bowl bid? A lot of different potential here. So that's why Washington and USC, depending on what happens with the college football playoff, could be an option for this game. And Michigan has not had that great of a history against USC. Lost 6 of their last 7, and we're going to go through the last 5 matchups between this team. All 7 bowl matchups that we're talking about, all matchups all time really between these 2 teams in bowl, are all in the Rose. After the 2005 season, or 2006 season, I'm sorry, January 1st, 2007, Rose Bowl. Michigan kind of went out after losing the Ohio State 1 versus 2 matchup, lost to USC. 2003 when USC was ranked number 1, 1989, 1988 season, Bo's second to last season, and I believe his last bowl win. I don't think they won in 89. Of course they didn't. It's right above us. And then go back to 1978. So 6 out of the last 7 certainly hasn't been pretty. the last 5. So Michigan get a little bit of bowl redemption against an 8-4 USC team in a Holiday Bowl that, frankly, I don't think Michigan would have a ton of fans at like they would a potential Florida Bowl game. So USC in the Holiday Bowl, Washington in the Holiday Bowl. Those are kind of the first ones up on there. We'll get to 3 more likely candidates here in a moment. But before we do, I want to make sure you guys see the deals of the day from our merch partners here. Check out the Michigan Football Big Time Block M shirt. This thing is it's half off, only $15 right now. Go get it. Chatsports.com/blue3 takes you right there to buy it. We'll also put it in the description, and we'll have it in the comments below to make it really easy to click it, or you can just remember chatsports.com/blue3, a great holiday gift, or this Michigan football jacket. I've already ordered one of these. These things are awesome. 50% off on this bad boy. It's only like $32, guys. Can't miss this deal. Chatsports.com/blue1, also down in the description and comments. Those are the first 2 deals we've got, but all Michigan football sale items throughout the 2008. Wait, we got one more. Okay, one more jersey here. You got the Michigan number 5, 0-5. All right, who did this? Who did this? Come on, you guys. 0-5, producer's prank. I'm out of here. Stop the show. Stop the show. Okay, they're making me come back on. They're pushing me back on. Stop it, okay, you guys. This is just ridiculous. You see what I have to put up with in this place? You got some probably Ohio State fans behind the scenes pranking you guys, but that jersey's not for sale. But you can go to chatsports.com/blue. The producer in my ear saying we got one more deal. They're just saying it right now. The price on that one is $62.56. Oh, I get that. You guys, you sons of guns. Chatsports.com/blue, up to 50% right now. Awesome sale deals going on. We've got the rest of our bowl opponents here coming up. Let's take a look, though, at the Big Ten's bowl affiliation, so you guys kind of know the pecking order of where Michigan could potentially fall. The College Football Playoff, I think it's pretty clear Ohio State will be in, even if they lose to Wisconsin. Then the Rose Bowl. Some people are saying it could be Wisconsin, could be Minnesota, could be Penn State. A lot of projections are having. It seems like the Rose Bowl can just pick whoever they want, honestly, and with Penn State being the highest ranked I guess second highest ranked, but with Wisconsin expected to lose, then I think Penn State gets that nod. Citrus. Michigan would have to overtake Minnesota, overtake Wisconsin in the eyes of the Citrus Bowl. Could fall back to the Outback or all the way back to the Holiday Bowl for this bowl season. If they end up down here, the Gator Bowl, you know they're picking everybody. They're picking Iowa now over Michigan. The Pinstripe Bowl, the Red Box Bowl out in the Bay Area in a baseball stadium, and the Quick Lane Bowl. I have no idea where those bottom 3 bowls even are, except for the Red Box one. So hopefully Michigan never sniffs any of those bowl games. Let's take a look at possible bowl opponent number 3, the next up on our list. I think is right in the middle of this. I'm kind of ranking these least likely to most likely, in my opinion. Tennessee in either the Outback Bowl or the Gator Bowl. And this is a Tennessee team that's kind of had a resurgence in the second half of the year after they lost, who they lose to? Georgia Southern, Georgia Tech, somebody like State, whatever it was, in the beginning of the year. Also lost to BYU, yes, that's right, 7-5, but a 5-3 record in the SEC. Nothing to sniff at, to sneeze at all. And they've got a brighter future. I think a lot of people thought that in the second year under head coach Jeremy Pruitt that they were just going to kind of be a 4-8 team in perpetuity, but had a nice turnaround in the second half of the year, but not much going on offense, as you see there. One of the worst offenses in the country at 24 points a game, number 98, and only 365 yards per game, number 100 in the country on offense. So I think Tennessee is, honestly, out of all these teams, I probably want to see, I would say USC or Tennessee, because when you look at these two teams, a 9-3 record for Michigan that lost their best 3 opponents. Honestly, Michigan did, but Tennessee 7-5 had a couple really bad losses in there. And it seems like Michigan's better in every area of the game. Scoring O, scoring D, total O, total D. I think they would handle Tennessee pretty well. I know all of you guys want revenge for that 2002 whatever bowl game that was, where Tennessee, who should have been probably the national title game, lost to LSU, SEC, and they just absolutely blew Michigan out in that bowl game. Also, a lot of you probably want revenge for Phil Fulmer voting Michigan 4th in the 1997 coaches poll when they were undefeated, best team in the country. All right, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. We're going to have awesome content all off season. It's official Michigan football rumors season right now. Help us get us to 6,000. You see, we're only 143 subscribers away. Hit that subscribe button. We'll have a bunch of recruiting stuff coming up for you later in the month, and then all the drama and saga that comes with a Michigan football offseason here on the Michigan Football Report. And if you haven't yet, get signed up with our presenting sponsor, BetDSI. Promo code GOBLUE gets you 120% deposit bonus. Just got to use that URL, chatsports.com/bet. Redirect you to BetDSI. 120% deposit bonus. You put in 50 to start, you get an extra 60. Put in 100, an extra 120. Put money on SEC, Big Ten championship games, Pac-12 this week. Put some money, $20 on every single bowl game. Will make the bowl season that much more enjoyable. BetDSI, ChatSports, chatsports.com/bet. Let's take a look at my top two, I think, most likely bowl opponents. And this one, Alabama in the Citrus Bowl, it's like, is there a upside for Michigan? Because I think Alabama's going to have a lot of players sitting out, okay? In the Citrus Bowl, they haven't played in a bowl of this caliber, really a non-power, now New Year's Six style bowl in 10 years since they played Michigan State in the 2010 season. You've got 7 offensive starters that could skip the bowl game or to injury. They've got 3 wide receivers, Najee Harris, who we all know. They've got a couple of offensive linemen that are juniors that will likely go pro and be first-round picks. So you've got a lot of players. Your entire skill position, a couple offensive linemen, and then obviously Tua won't play for them. He's out for the season. Probably won't ever see him in a college football uniform despite his injury. So I think if Michigan did play Alabama, it would be no upside for Michigan. That's why this game kind of scares me and why I think it potentially could be likely because, well, that's a really good matchup for the Citrus Bowl. Alabama, Nick Saban, Jim Harbaugh, are there 2 college football coaches that get talked about more? In 2019, Urban Meyer is kind of out of the sport. He's no longer a coach, so they might be 2 of the 3 biggest draws in college football from a coaching perspective. Matching that up in a game that wouldn't be a blowout, but if Michigan wins, well, Alabama set all their starters. Michigan loses, it's like, gosh, Alabama's freshman team just beat Michigan. So I don't see any upside in this one. I think it is the second most likely outcome. But the most likely team I think Michigan will play in the 2019 bowl season is the Auburn Tigers. Or are the Auburn Tigers? Is it are? I'm not even sure. But Auburn Tigers in the Citrus Bowl or the Outback Bowl. And why the variance there? Why either one of those bowls? There's quite a few things that could shake this up. Let's say Georgia beats LSU and LSU gets in the college football playoff. Then does that give the SEC, does the SEC have 3 teams in the Power 5, probably 2 in the playoffs in the New Year's Six, and it would just reorder every team by 1 notch. So you never know if one of the other bowls might pick a different team, whatever it is. But Citrus, Outback, Auburn, I think that's the most likely team. And for me, I think this is the highest level of fan interest from a Michigan perspective, with the best outcome if you win it. Because Auburn might have a player or 2 in the defensive line sit out. But this is a team that really played well this year against one of the toughest schedules in the country. I think this is the number 2 schedule in the country, strength schedule, when we looked at it. All right? And they just beat Alabama. So an Alabama team nearly at full strength, minus starter that's been out all year on defense. Obviously, minus Tua. But they played LSU. They played Georgia very closely. They played Florida and beat them, I believe, right? So Auburn in the Citrus Bowl or the Outback Bowl, I think that is the most likely for the Michigan football team throughout this 2019 bowl season. Got a question for you guys, though. What is your favorite beer? Because, as I said, had a little bit of Grandpa's cough syrup in the post game on Saturday and maybe into Sunday morning, you never know. And a lot of people saying, you're drinking Bud Light, and then the next one, like Michelob Ultra. And I'm saying, guys, it's at my aunt's house. These are left over from Thanksgiving. Beggars can't be choosers. I'm not going to make a special trip to get your fancy elitist beers. Okay, so I tossed a couple Michelob Lights back. Was feeling a little loose during those shows. No big deal. So tell me what your favorite beer is, and maybe the next time Michigan gets blown up by Ohio State, and I drink a 12-pack in between shows, maybe I'll be drinking your favorite beer. And thanks so much for watching our Michigan football bowl opponent projection show. Make sure to subscribe. Get us to 6,000 subscribers before bowl season is upon us. I've got our Michigan football post-game grades from Ohio State and 5 things we learned about the Michigan football program following that blowout loss to the Buckeyes. Go Blue.